Alright guys, what's going on? Steven here, and we're going to talk about some Fallout 76, the no-clip documentary in particular. I'm going to recommend that you go watch that in full. I got it linked, and I just want to make sure that I put it out there. That is their content. I'm not monetizing the video because I'm pretty much using this as a basis for my video. So anyway, Fallout 76. I think I might have been wrong about this game. Of course, we still haven't played it yet, but it does look promising, and a lot of my questions are being answered in a good way. So I think a lot of the confusion in the pissed off people, and me included, because I was pissed, a lot of that I think is being answered, and it was due to just kind of some poor communication, but I think it's coming around here, and so. Yeah, you guys, a lot of my questions are being answered. I just kind of wanted to talk about a few things that had me concerned and what I'm looking forward to in the game. And of course, the big thing was the always online, no single player. Now, they did confirm private worlds, and I'll get onto that in a bit. So eventually, we'll have private worlds. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work, but we'll see. Anyway, so this game, the single player or the solo mode, what worried me was that the PvP was going to just crush this game. Like, it was just PvP. Now, Todd Howard said that you can see everybody on the map, for better or for worse. And I think that's great, because that means we'll be able to avoid people. It ain't going to be like GTA Online, as I thought it was going to be, because you don't have jets and whatnot. Granted, you've got nukes, but we'll talk about that. But you can't see somebody on the map and just fly to them and just kill them when they have no chance of fighting back. They know where you are. If you see like somebody that's going to go through all the trouble to launch a nuke, get out of a populated, you have that opportunity to get out of that populated area or something, something like that. Or you can see people coming after you. If you're in a public dynamic event, let's say you're in a big boss battle, you can see people coming for you. You can position yourself differently, stuff like that. So you're able to kind of avoid PvP. And like Pete Hines said in another video, he said that he looks at PvP as a challenge. Like if you see a legendary Deathclaw in Fallout 4, let's say, you can avoid that fight 100%. So, really, it's looking like you will truly be able to do what you want to do, And then like me, I'll probably play with a buddy or two, and I'm not going to worry about it, because they said there's also only going to be about 24 to 32 players on the map, so that's not really that bad. It's a huge ass map, and everybody's got to walk, so it's a big map. There's a lot of space between everybody, and they said that it's like even if you do get killed by somebody, you're going to spawn away. They can't loot your items and make you lose them. You're not going to lose any progression. So there is that. So, and honestly, it just seems kind of pointless to kill people, but you'll have dickheads, that. But it seems like you'll be able to avoid the dicks in this game. So, that's coming around. No raiders. This is the next thing that had me. No human NPCs, but they have a new faction called the Scorched, which are basically feral ghouls that aren't fully gone. They're just surviving ghouls that can use weapons and can attack you and all that. So you still got, gunplay with AI. So that's still there. So that's how that'll work in the private worlds. And they went on to parts talking about how there was when you go to the area with the first responders, where you've seen the fireman costume in the trailers. You go to an area with the first responders, and there's there's a terminal where you can take like a fireman briefing course, right? And like stuff like that. Like, that is such a relief to me, you guys. And like knowing that they're going to be putting, all these locations to explore. Exploration is kind of the story, and just discovering things within, just like with that first responder terminal. Like that's awesome, because I love stuff like that with Fallout. That's what I love. Not necessarily the main quest line. Granted, I would like a main quest line. I don't know how that's going to work with the Overseer, but still, at the same time, there are these encounters like that are still Fallout. and it's just that interaction, right? And I think people like me and a lot of people were worried just about the fact that there is no more human AI interaction. You know, you have to deal with real players and trading and all that kind of thing. So I think that's what I was worried about, and I think a lot of people were also worried about it. But you've got robots, you've got holotapes, you've got terminals, and this has been pointed out in comments on my videos. That you still have that, and it's like, you know what, yeah, they do, you know, and that actually did work. A lot of those quests did work. They, you know, they're not like the otherworldly experience like Tranquility Lane and stuff like that. I don't know if they'll get stuff like that in there, you know, like with the memory den and whatnot. I don't know if we'll get things like that in the game, but it would be really cool. But who knows? And so anyway, that kind of has alleviated my concern. It seems like it's going to be a very fun world to explore with the like. I'm so excited about the Mothman, dude. Like I completely forgot to even mention that in any videos. I'm so excited. That is such an interesting story to me, the Mothman, and so I'm very excited to see how that's going to evolve through early progression to the end of the game. You know, that kind of stuff has got me very, very excited, honestly, and I think it's going to be good. And you know, and I just got to say it again, man, the fact that you can see where people are and you can avoid those people, and even then you can be passive and offer something to trade. You know, it seems like they're Bethesda's trying to put in safeguards to where the mentality should not be shoot first. Just and I'll touch on this a little bit with the nukes, but you know, the mentality doesn't seem to be shoot first. It seems like there are going to be much more worthwhile things to do by working together rather than killing each other. And so hopefully the majority of the player base can get on board with that, and we'll have a lot of people working together. That's got me excited. Or hopefully they'll make the game hard enough to where you're forced to work together, because there's going to be one difficulty. I think everybody's kind of overlooked that. There will be one difficulty since it's online. So, you know, I think that we're kind of, hopefully they make it difficult enough to incentivize working together. And so, yeah, you guys, and there's all kinds, there's a bunch of gameplay stuff like the perk cards and like the way that skills are working and mutations with radiation, stuff like that, which you guys should watch the documentary about. Nonetheless, it's very interesting stuff. I like the way they're going with it for this game. So watch the documentary, check that out. But the other thing I wanted to touch on with the incentives and exploration is it's put me at rest. It really looks like the game isn't going to be as hollow as I thought it was. It's going to actually be, if they do more stuff like that fireman terminal, and they have a lot of encounters that are worthwhile and interesting, and like lore that you can uncover about the monsters, and then hopefully, you know, have some kind of conversation with that monster, because I hope they don't get rid of dialogue completely with AI, because it's so fun to like just throw smart ass comments in a good back and forth with people, and like come up with just ways to manipulate the AI. Like that was so fun, right? And so that's what I want to be able to do, right? And yeah, so you know, that's what we're getting at. And it does look promising, you guys. It does look promising. Now the thing they touched on that I also wanted to talk about in this video was the end game. And the end game is the nukes. The nukes are the end game. They've said that you know, you could create harder levels for yourself by nuking just a region and then exploring that region for loot. That would be an end game, you know, type of raid. You know what I mean? So like in Destiny, kind of like a raid. You know what I mean? So like yeah, it'd be kind of like a way to make the game harder for yourself. It just doesn't seem like there's going to be a purpose in going through all the trouble to get a nuke just to blow up somebody's settlement, considering the settlements are like a camp. Settlements aren't cities like you could build an entire city, a small city pretty much in Fallout 4. It's like something that keeps moving with you, or having multiple small little bases, right? And so speaking of that, one thing I was worried about is how are they gonna, you know, have settlements between servers. As simple as if you can't be placing your camp down because somebody else is there on a new server, all it does is store it as a blueprint for you to lay it down somewhere else. So there you go. That's actually solved, and it makes total sense. And it's kind of like, lazy, whatever. It's just there, but at the same time, it works. So if that works, good, excited about it. Now the other thing was, back to the nukes. There doesn't seem to be a point to nuke somebody's settlement or nuke random players running through the woods. It just seemed that's pointless. There's no reason to do that. It seems almost like they talked about how the Cold War in West Virginia, like they'll kind of hope that players set up their own Cold War. So hopefully it would turn out to be like just this nuclear battle between each other, where you don't want to use it. Or hopefully what I'm hoping is people use it for the correct way. Like people use it to make the game harder for everybody rather than just doing it to kill certain players. Use it to, okay, all of us are going to nuke this huge area, and then everybody on the map join up, and we go in and we raid we raid the crater that we just made. You know what I mean? Like that would be sweet. That would actually be really, really cool. So it looks promising to me now, you guys. I had an open mind. I still wanted to play the game, but I was worried. I was very worried, but now I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. And we'll know if the beta comes out and it doesn't work and it's just shit, then I guess we were right, it didn't work, but it's starting to look promising, and I never wanted the game to fail. I don't want a game to fail. I just am concerned about the game, and I want the game to be better. So if it does make the game better, then shit, man. Like that. That's awesome. Now, again, I'm going to say here again, the other thing with like always online, that the thing that sucks about that is if Bethesda's down, we're down. And that's unfortunate. And that's the thing I don't like. And then they said they were going to have microtransactions, and that's like shit, man. So hopefully microtransactions would replace Creation Club, and it would just be cosmetic only. In cosmetic only, as in like no stats, like just paint jobs for power armor, shit like that. That is what I'm hoping the microtransactions would end up being, if they're not going to get rid of it, because I guess it was either we get to keep Creation Club, or we get to have microtransactions with Bethesda. So it'd be great if it didn't exist at all. But at the same time, I think we were either getting one or the other. And, I'd rather we get some cosmetic paint jobs that you can get in-game without spending money. So I think that's going to be a topic for another day. But those are really the other two things that I'm still seeing as just like, damn it, that's kind of sucks. But, it's looking promising, you guys. It is. It's looking like, it's always kind of lazy to think that it's up to the players to make their own story. But what I'm getting is that this game, we actually will be able to make our own story. Like it's actually going to work. Like it and that's what I'm hoping for. So, I wanted nothing but the single player game. But if this can work, then I have no reservations about it. If it does work. Granted, I would love another game, a Fallout 5, to be a single player only game, maybe with co-op. But like, for this, if this works, it works, and it's fun, and that's what we want at the end of the day. So that's what I'm gonna leave you guys with. I talked a lot about my thoughts, but anyway, that's what I'm just thinking about the game. And so check out that documentary, see what you think for yourself. It definitely gave me hope for the game. So well done on you, NoClip, for doing that. Thank you for making that video, because that has changed my mind a lot on this game, and I'm very, very interested to play it, and I will be playing the beta. So I'm ready for the game. I want to see how it works. So anyway, thanks for watching the video, guys. Appreciate it. Let me know your comments. You still don't want to play it, you're excited about it, whatever. Let me know, put it in there. We can talk about it. So I'll see you guys later. You all have a good day.